Hi everybody, welcome to Dandelion Cottage and Watercolor Wednesday. I'm Leslie Watkins, and I think you can get a good guess as to what we're going to be working with today. These are some of the Rudbeckia and the echinaceas that are blooming in the garden right now. They're making a fantastic display. I have them in a bed with some Perovskia and some brick red daylilies and also some salmon colored daylilies, and they look just wonderful. So I thought that they would be a great choice because I want to make some ephemera to go with the design journal project that I've been working on with you the past couple of weeks. So I have two stamp sets and their dies, Nature's Harvest and Quiet Meadow. These are both available as a bundle. When you get the stamp set with the dies, you get 10% off, and I will have all that information listed below. So if you are interested in getting any of the tools or supplies that I'm using today, you'll be able to do that after the video down below. Or you can go to my website at dandelioncottagedesign.com and get more information there. And if you're not subscribed to my newsletter, Notes from Dandelion Cottage, please go there and subscribe so I can send you information on the the design journal workshop coming right up. So today what I want to do is I want to create some ephemera. And what I mean by that is little decorative pieces that I can decorate the journals with and tuck into pockets or glue down to pages and let them be kind of a jewelry for the journal. And my idea is to make a little bouquet based on these flowers that I showed you. So if you look at the dies, you'll see that there are a number of shapes that look like little flower stems, as you would find in a cut flower bouquet. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to cut those out, and I'm going to use my stamp and emboss machine, or actually, I'm sorry, I'm saying that wrong. The cut and emboss machine. So many things to think about here today. So here's my machine. And I'm going to be using the thicker paper. This is the Fluid 100 watercolor paper that I'm using today. This is 140-pound watercolor paper, so it's got enough thickness to be able to keep these cutouts from bending very easily. So let's just start with the harvest dies first. So I'm just going to get them arranged on there. Okay, I'll run that through. Oops, that's upside down. Whoa. Make sure you have your dies facing down. unless you're putting your paper on top. All right, I almost passed that through without using the cutting edge. Okay, that looks pretty good. And I'm going to go ahead and put that through twice because this paper is so thick. These dies are so delicate and beautiful. They are among my most favorites, and I can see me using these for a very long time to come. I mean, there's just so many things you can do with them. This one looks like thistle to me. Okay, and then next I have the Meadow Dies. I'm going to use a couple of those. And the Meadow Dies have some tags and butterflies with them as well. There are 13 of them, which is a good sized set. I don't know if I'm going to be able to squeeze all these in. Let me see if I switch this around. All right, that's on there. How about if I put this like so? Okay, I'm just going to make it, I think. Okay, here we go. Get that one out of there. Just using my piercing tool to release the paper from the die. There are these little spots that you can poke it through. Look at that. Okay, so that's my die cutting done for the moment. I am going to come back to this in a little while if we have enough time. Let's see how we do. So this is what I have so far. Just get these little bits poked out. Okay, so there is my assortment. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 beautiful meadow flowers that we can use to decorate our journal. So I'm not going to have time to paint all of these and do what I want to do with all of them today, but I wanted to give you an idea of the assortment and diversity that you can have with these dies, and they're so fine and lovely. I just, I think you can, if you look at the size of my hand or a pencil, you get a sense of just how fine these things are, and many of them have little embossed details on them as well. So I'm just gonna select one to start with. So I'll use this one of the purple cone flowers, since that's what our theme is today. Let's do this one. I'll do a single one. If I have time, I'll do more. So I'll zoom you in a little closer. Okay, now the color palette of my journal is based on the neutral family of colors, and I'm using primarily crumb cake. I'm just taking a look here. Hi Ginger, hi Linda. Linda says she loves these dies. I do too. They're some of the best, I think, that we've seen. So the colors I'm using are soft suede, crumb cake. I also have my Sahara sand and early espresso ready to go. I have my water painters, which have escaped. Here they are right in front of me. Okay, so I have the water painters. These are the brushes that have the water in the handle. And I also have a roll of paper towels handy in case I need some. And let me start with my crumb cake. And you remember from the other video I did where I added all of the, get that piece of string out of there. I added drops from my reinker into the lid of my ink pad to make a little palette. So that's what I'm working with today. There's still plenty in there. And I'm also diluting it down. I'm keeping it pretty much on the light side. And I'm just going to put a light wash over the entire flower. And I'm also getting the edges. And then I'm just going to add a little more in the areas where I want additional tone. Okay, now that's pretty saturated right now. Get that where you can see it better. Okay. So that was crumb cake. Now I'm going to use the soft suede. And I'm going to blot my brush because I don't want to add a lot more water. There's plenty of water on there already. I just want to add more color. So now you remember that the cone flower, I'm going to put it right in the, woo, that's pretty big. Okay, hang on. Let me zoom you out a little more. So you see how dark the centers of the Rudbeckia and the coneflowers are. So that's what I want to capture here in the picture that I'm working on. And I'm also kind of dotting the brush around a little bit. I want to get the texture of those little spikes. And then I'll just go in between the petals, indicate that. Okay, same with the leaves. So I can put the little veins of the leaves. You also, this is one of the dies that has the embossing on it as well. So, so you can just follow that, and a little more there. Now, I just want to see what the early espresso will give us in terms of darks. So I'm just going to pick up a little bit of that. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. All right, so let's do another one. I'm going to put this one aside to dry. So I'm just going to gently move it out of the way. Here's this one. So I'm going to do just the same thing. I'm going to go back to my crumb cake, and I'm diluting that way down, keeping it very light, and I'm just going to wash that over the entire surface. Now you'll want to stay tuned next Saturday for Paper Crafting Saturday at 12 noon, because I think the Nature Journal prototype will be done, and I'll be able to share that with you. All right, so now going back to my soft suede, yep, okay, just checking. Get my flower centers. Just indicate the petals, leaves. All right, and then this is the early espresso, and I'm just using the tiniest amount here. So I'm just picking up a little tiny bit, and I'm just sort of dotting that in the areas where I want that to be. Now this one's a little too wet. All right, so I'm going to have to put this one aside as well to dry, but I think you get the idea. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to come back in about half an hour, let's say, and I'm going to show you the second part of what I plan to do with these cutouts, because I want to, this is only half of what I have in mind to use them for. All right, so that's it for the moment. I'm going to give these a chance to dry, and then come back today in about half an hour. So let's see, what time is it? It's about 12:22. So let's say at 1:45 or 12:45, I'll come back and I'll quickly show you the result after these have a chance to dry. Dies dry. Teresa's back from Baton Rouge. Hi, Teresa. Hi, Carol. Um, Let me see. Is there anybody else here? Oh, hi, Ginger. All right. Well, thank you all for joining me. I hope you can come back in about half an hour. Go check your email, grab a cup of coffee, and I'll quickly show you the end result. All right. And I think you'll like it. It's pretty cute. I'll see you later.